Okay.
How you doing? We're going to do this presentation on Hvacs for 609 certification. My name is Oscar Moreno. We're going to speak about the two main refrigerants, R12 and R134. Before the early 1990s, R12 destroyed the stratospheric ozone layer, but it's a potential greenhouse gas. It contributes to climate change, and it has a global warming potential of 10,900. However, the R134, it was introduced in the mid-90s. It is not an ozone-depleting refrigerant, but it is a potential greenhouse gas. Contributes to climate change as well, and it has a global warming potential of 1,430. The condenser was redesigned to increase airflow and reduce system pressure at low speeds, like when you're driving in the city. The performance increased on the R134 system by 30% compared to R12. R134 are more efficient with a parallel flow, multi-flow condenser compared to the 3/8 inch tube and fin condenser on the R12 system. R134 also required a new desiccant material that absorbs moisture in the system. The desiccant material can be located in the condenser or in the receiver dryer or accumulator. Customer complaint. The customer complains that there is no cold air running through the vents. The vehicle has no refrigerant, which would indicate that there is a leak. The system is charged 15% and checked for leaks. Schrader valves shown to be the cause of the leak. Schrader valves were changed. System was charged and running cool now. After checked for pressure held in the system, we have confirmed that the Schrader valves were the problem. Visual inspection. Checking the AC system components and refrigerant lines for any obvious damage. Clean off any dust or buildup on or around the connection points before servicing. Service points are the main cause of leakage in most AC systems. You want to ensure that the caps are not damaged and they have good seals. Before a system disassembly, look for the presence of any oil that can be a sign of another leak, even if you have already found one. There may be multiple leaks. Inspect all connections, seal surfaces for damage or signs of wear and tear, deformation, or contaminants. Compressor failure. To prevent damage to compressor, it is recommended you don't operate the compressor without it having the amount of refrigerant specified to the vehicle's manufacturer. The loss of refrigerant can also cause a lack of lubrication through the system. Clutchless compressors will operate until catastrophic failure. Identifier. Before running a R machine using pressure gauges, we must first identify what kind of refrigerant is in the system and whether or not it has been contaminated. However, it is not required, but is recommended to prevent cross-contamination to shop equipment. Checking for pressure in the system. After identifying the refrigerant in the system, you should perform a pressure test to determine if the system is charged. It wouldn't make any sense to recover refrigerant from a system it doesn't contain refrigerant. This is why we check for pressure in the system before starting the recovery process. It is safe to assume that the refrigerant has leaked out. First step is to find the leak. If a system contains some pressure but an unknown amount of refrigerant, you can add refrigerant to check the system's operation. Leak test. Leaking systems recommended that they be repaired with electronic leak detectors. Electronic leak detectors are able to identify the rate of leakage as low as 0.5 ounces per year of 1/4 inch from the leak. On newer devices that handle HFO 1234YF, as low as 0.15 ounces per year at a distance of 3/8 of inches from the leak. Soap bubbles identify leakage of 1,000 grams, close to 40 ounces per year. Make sure vehicle engine is not operating. The movement of air in the system can affect the detector's ability to find a leak. The system should hold at least 50 psig or 15% of charge to check for a leak. Flushing an AC system. It is recommended that the AC system not be flushed. Debris and other substances may not be flushed completely. It is considered to use inline filters to effectively trap debris. The use of solvents to flush the AC system is not recommended because the solvent's boiling point may be higher than the vacuum to extract of the remains in the system. The solvents may even dilute the lubricants in the system. When using solvents, ensure that it is hazardous. If it is hazardous, dispose of it according to with local and state regulations. TXV, the 90-degree right angle thermostat expansion valve. There is two different types of designs, internal and external. Very few different variations of the two. If it is broken or damaged, the valve will become inoperative. Many models now use a H-type block valve or orifice tube. The H-type block type doesn't have capillary tubes that can be damaged. Orifice tubes divide the high and low side. Orifice tubes filter the refrigerant and may become clogged with debris. If an orifice tube is clogged, it is required to replace it. Evacuation of the AC. Before evacuating the AC, we must first check that the refrigerant in the system is R134, so we must check with an identifier. The system must be evacuated before being recharged. The vacuum should be able to draw the system down at least 29 inches of vacuum. The higher the elevation, the less the gauge reading will naturally be. If the pump is too weak, it will not achieve a complete refrigerant removal. If it is not completely removed, there will still be charge remaining, which can lead to overcharge of the system. It can lead to performance problems and may even cause failure of the compressor. Manufacturers recommend evacuation times of 30 to 45 minutes to be sure that the system is fully evacuated. Moisture in the system. Even the best vacuum pumps may not remove all the moisture from the system. To ensure moisture is removed, replacement of the desiccants is required. Do not ever leave the fittings or lines exposed to the atmosphere. The system may be exposed to moisture that will cause saturation of the desiccant. Oils and lubricants. It is critical to use the recommended oil type and the amount that the system requires. Whenever you change the compressor or any other components from the AC system, you must check to see how much oil is in that part before installing the new one, so that the amount can match and the system will remain with the same amount as it did before. Recharging refrigerant. Never top off. After recharging the AC system to the vehicle's manufacturer specification, the AC system is checked for proper operation in the vents. With the thermometer, max AC operation, windows closed and open hood, running at 15,000 RPMs for 5 minutes. The climate should read anywhere between 35 to 45 Fahrenheit. System performance test. To test the system performance, make sure the system is charged according to the manufacturer's specifications, or else the reading may not be accurate. Also, check the identifier for refrigerant type and test leak if low on refrigerant. Setting the temperature at the lowest and running the fan modes at different speeds. We test to see if the AC is running as should in every mode, whether it is from the vents in the defroster vents to the lower vents and under the dash. Any questions?
Okay.